Okay, let's call the town council meeting of May 27, 2025 to order. Julie, will you take roll?
Councilmember Arborish,
Here.
Councilmember Gold, Councilmember Brown,
Here.
Mayor Domkowski,
Here.
and Councilmember Wall is noted absent.
Absent, and with her absence means Mayor Pro Tem Gold will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
With allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic, which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Well, thank you for that. And before we begin public comment, I did want to take a moment to formally welcome Town Manager Jason Ledbetter as our new Chief Executive. I know I speak for the entire council in saying that we are extraordinarily impressed with his presence and engagement and his focused commitment to making this leadership transition a success, as well as, of course, your public and private market experience and all the energy and drive you're bringing to this role. It's been a lot of fun to watch over the last couple of weeks. This is not an easy job, but it is a meaningful one. And despite all the work that maybe we all collectively put in, at the end of the day, the impact, the accountability, everything rests on your shoulders. And that's a big deal. And that said, I know we're all eager and working hard to do everything we can to accelerate our introduction of you to the community and the whole course to support you in the management of the town from a governance capacity, as well as help chart the future out with you. So welcome. It is a great honor to have you, and we're looking forward to working closely with you on your first council meeting.
Mr. Mayor.
Oh, well, hold on. Yes. Oh, yes.
Go ahead.
Mayor.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor and Woodside Town Council. Is this the opportunity? Would you like the town manager report at this time?
No, sir. Just wanted to acknowledge you, and I
Not yet.
believe Mayor Pro Tem Gold has something fun he would like to present to you.
Well, we'll decide. He can decide if it's fun or not. Jason, welcome. This is your first official meeting, and I know you've been here for all of about 15 minutes, but I think that I've already heard back from so many people in town and members of the staff and our support team and everybody else, how impressed they are with you. You arrived early. You came up to speed fast. We've attended a couple of meetings together already, and you've sort of blown us away with you're already up to speed on so many issues, and some of them are pretty subtle issues. So you've done your homework, and I appreciate that. I mentioned to you a bit earlier that report that you sent us, that memo just telling us what this report was coming, was a real work of art, and we do appreciate that. But this is Woodside, and we recognize that the going won't always be this friendly or this easy, I can assure you. You've seen some of our meetings, I know, on video, but we have the town council has this small gift for you.
Completely unexpected, but thank you very much. I'm going to open this.
Yes, of course. You should. You may need it. It's an official Town of Woodside flak jacket, which we thought that might be appropriate for the town manager. Occasionally needs some protection. And that one's for you. It's supposed to be one size fits all, so you should be okay.
I'll wear it proudly.
There you go.
Well, very good. And at the risk of it being a dad joke, I think we know that under your leadership, our town will be led better than it ever has been.
Ooh. Oh, he's never heard that.
Okay, well, with the levity behind us, let's open up public comments. So persons wishing to address the council on any matter not on the posted agenda are invited to do so. Please note that we cannot undertake extended discussions or act on non-agendized items. And those items, of course, we can refer to staff for appropriate action and follow-up. This communication period is limited to 5 persons, 3 minutes each. Is there anyone in the room that would like to make public comment on any item that's not on the agenda? We'll check the Zoom room. Going once, twice, 3 times. We will close public comment and we will move on to the consent agenda. Are there any? Manager report. Thank you. Thank you. I must have printed the wrong thing. Sorry. Of course. Now, Mr. Ledbetter, the town manager report.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor and Woodside Town Council. I have kind of a long report here that I'm going to get through rather rapidly. So I was onboarded on May 15th. I'm focused on setting internal expectations for the staff, meeting members of the community, and setting up a seamless transition for operations. I've met with Mark Dallin with CERT and EPIC to discuss interest in participating in emergency preparedness. I've met with the San Mateo Sheriff's Captain Frank Del Porto to discuss the services of our contract with his department. We discussed the historical issues of the town from a law enforcement perspective with a high focus on road safety. I've contacted the San Mateo Sheriff's Administrative Department, and they have stated that they are in the process of scheduling a meeting with me and the sheriff to finalize our contract, but no actual date has been presented to me at this time. I've met with some members of the community and look forward to meeting many more as folks are interested in discussing really any concerns they have with the town, big or small. I have started engaging with staff on our what we're referring to as TCAP internally, which is the Town Center Area Plan, and I'm looking forward to our June 10th meeting where we will focus on this topic with the community and the council. I attended the ASRB meeting on May 19th and introduced myself to the five board members. I attended the Wildfire Preparedness Workshop on 5/22. I attended the first half of the Environment and Open Space Committee meeting on 5/22 as well. I have scheduled a meeting with the Woodside Fire District Fire Marshal tomorrow afternoon. I toured the museum with Thalia on Friday, May 23rd. And as I take a look at the town of Woodside, I'm kind of beginning to curate my focus areas where I believe the council should invest time and really already is investing time. But as we together create strategic initiatives over the first 12 months of my career here, I'm already seeing there's an opportunity here with the rollout of the housing element deliverables, specifically with the TCAP, the Town Center Area Plan. Hazard mitigation is a big deal for me, and so I'm going to be hyper engaged with emergency preparedness. And I'm seeing not just fire and earthquake, but flooding as the 3 emergencies that I'm going to invest my time in. And finally, I see a huge opportunity here with street safety, and I already had someone come in my office today that was concerned about speeding along 84, and I've reached out to Frank, the captain with the sheriff's office, to kind of see what we can do to alleviate and start educating the public on that topic. And I want to say that I'm just absolutely beyond thrilled to have this opportunity, to have this position. I really put the town of Woodside in extremely high regard, and this position means a great deal to me. And I plan on maximizing my time here in this position, and no issue is too big or too small. So anybody in the community is always welcome to engage me. And then finally, I want to hand it over to Yaz because he has some very positive news about the Glen Sidewalk project.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. As you know, earlier this year, we had a ribbon cutting ceremony for the Glens project. The last phase was completed, and every year, APWA, American Public Works Association, has an awards program for projects. So we decided to submit the entirety of the Glens phases 1 through 3 project to APWA, and I'm very happy to report that it has won in its category for transportation projects, Project of the Year award. And we were, myself and our staff attended the luncheon last week, which they formally presented the plaque to us. And I wanted to just share that with the council and bring the plaque to you. And if you wanted to, would mind taking a picture with us and the staff that worked on it and did a great job.
Great. Sure.
It's a nice surprise.
All the council meetings could be like this. Any questions for Jason from the council?
I do.
Yes, sir.
Your meeting with the sheriff, how'd that, I mean, can you give a little more color on that? I know that, we're working on the contract and that's obviously the town's biggest single expense. So it's an important issue, and any insights that you could give us?
Yeah, unfortunately, I just met with Captain Frank Del Porto, and we discussed briefly who I can engage the contract negotiations with, and he set that up via email. And then Frank and I really just discussed the historical issues within the community and really more of the law enforcement side. And we didn't get into particulars on the contract as he won't be a part of that. And so I'm still awaiting the actual confirmed date that I will get to sit down and speak with the sheriff. I have not spoken with her at this time.
Okay. Second item, I know you're meeting with members of the community, different groups. Anything we can do to facilitate, I know we've spoken about doing that in my district, but I know that the other council members as well are already, and I know the mayor has been pretty active with that already. But anything that we can do, and any organizations we can help with, we stand ready.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm working with each of you individually to have kind of district-specific meetings, and then anyone that you advise that I should engage. And then really anybody that shows up here wanting to talk to me, my door's open, and I'm scheduling, folks are calling me, and I'm just arbitrarily scheduling meetings with members of the public.
Thank you.
Great. Any other questions for Jason? Before you ask? Any questions from the public on the town manager's report? All right, hearing none, we will close. Thank you very much. Guess last question is, do you sleep? But we will move on from that. On to the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are considered routine and will be approved with one roll call motion unless a request is made at the beginning of the meeting to withdraw an item. Are there any items? Yes.
I'd like to withdraw number 6.
Number 6. Any other items? Any items from staff or from public? Okay, we will take 6 out. Can I get a motion on 1 through 5?
Move we approve motions 1 through 5.
Second.
Councilmember Alberish,
Yes.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Gold, Mayor Domkowski.
Yes. Councilmember Brown, number 6.
Yes, I believe we have a presentation from the History Committee I'd like to hear.
All righty, so I'll be giving that presentation. I'm Melanie
Melanie.
Olson. I'm Associate Planner as well as the Staff Liaison History Committee, or Staff Liaison to the History Committee and the fantastic History Committee as it is. So I'll be giving the proclamation for Historic Preservation Month and then kind of give a brief update regarding what the History Committee has been up to this year. All righty, let's get it started.
Let's do it.
Whereas historic preservation is an effective tool for managing sustainable development, revitalizing neighborhoods, fostering local pride, and maintaining community character while enhancing livability. And whereas historic preservation is relevant for communities across the nation, both urban and rural, and for Americans of all ages, all walks of life, and all ethnic backgrounds. And whereas it is important to celebrate the role of history in our lives and the contributions made by dedicated individuals helping to preserve the tangible aspects of the heritage that has shaped us as a people. And whereas in alignment with the ongoing theme established by the National Trust, harnessing the power of place is the theme for Woodside's Preservation Month of 2025. And whereas the Town of Woodside History Committee has planned activities to celebrate National Preservation Month through promotion of the Woodside Town Center walking tour for museum visitors to explore the Woodside Commercial District and buildings, in addition to the annual Preservation Awards program. It is in support of the general plan policies HP 1.3 and HP 1.5 to promote historic preservation and awareness of local history and its historic resources. In lieu of the Preservation Awards this year, the History Committee has been working very hard on a new exhibit for the Woodside Fire District Fire Protection District to celebrate their 100th anniversary. And they'll be having a grand opening later this summer. With that said, I'd like to welcome committee member Thalia Lubin to the microphone to continue the presentation. Thank you.
Thalia Lubin, History Committee. Before I start, I want to see a show of hands in the room of everybody who's read the panel out in front of Independence Hall. No brownie points either way here, but the History Committee worked really hard on that. And these were Dick Brown's idea of trying to put out more information about the history of the town. So at the time, we put in a second panel, and that was for the town to put agendas and post other things. So it hasn't been used. So Dick Brown, a few months ago, said, why didn't the History Committee come up with something? So we did. And I want to say a special thank you to Steve Lubin, who helped us put the graphics together, and he's also working on the leaks in the two boxes. So we'll get those straightened out. And this is going to the same printer who did the other side. So this is going to be the whole history of Independence Hall. So the original Woodside Town Meeting Place was Temperance Hall, located at the corner of Tripp and Summit Springs Road. However, temperance meant no alcohol on the premises. Town residents who objected to the hall's no liquor policy decided to build a more inclusive social hall. They named it Independence Hall to signify freedom from temperance restrictions. Since its completion in 1884, Independence Hall has served the Woodside community. It was built by local carpenters on the site of today's tennis courts at the Woodside School. Members of several pioneer families formed Independence Hall Association to oversee the hall, which soon became the focal point of village life. It served as a meeting hall, voting location, and site for community activities, including dances, theatrical productions, and church services. The building was moved to Albion Avenue. You can see the second photograph with all the people in it, near Woodside Road in 1894. Activities at the hall were minimal during World War II. In 1919, ownership was transferred to Henry Coop, one of the association members. The hall continued to be used for dances and parties, but was closed in 21 during Prohibition because of rowdiness. The building was later sold to Fred Myhall. In 1944, interested citizens formed a new committee to restore the neglected pioneer landmark. Eager to have a place for meetings, townspeople raised the funds to assist Fred Myhall with the renovation. The local Boy Scout troop helped with the work, and when the building was dedicated in November of '44, it was renamed Scout Hall. The hall was used for Boy Scout, 4-H Club, and PTA meetings, as well as for dance classes, parties, and movies. It was closed a second time in 1972 due to increased costs for fire insurance and maintenance. In order to prevent the demolition of Independence Hall, the Woodside Community Foundation and interested citizens had the building moved back to the Woodside School grounds in 1978. The hall was once again used for community meetings and other town activities until the school needed the space for expansion. The building's third move, which you can see as it's going by Roberts, occurred in 1990 when it was relocated to its current site. It was the style of Independence Hall, which was an architectural inspiration for the newly constructed Woodside Town Hall buildings. Independence Hall continues to serve as the town's meeting facility and is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. So that will be out front. And now you don't have to read it because I just read it. But I'd also like to acknowledge Brianne Vale, Leisha Maines, and Dee Shu, our members, fellow members of our history committee.
That's wonderful. And this is fascinating and it's perfect. So well done. Any
And-
questions for the history committee?
Yeah. How many hours have you and Steve and the committee worked on this project?
Oh, goodness. This one, well, both of the panels, I don't know, many hours. And we've had input, a lot of it was Jean Tiverge, our archivist, and Gretchen Tenenbaum. We're sort of, and myself, were wordsmiths, but we did run it by the committee. Everybody had input. We went to the draft and then they made comments and we double checked the dates and then picking the photos. And then when you asked us to put something in the second box, we did it all over again. So I do hope people will take the time to read
Sure
these.
they
And
will. A lot
this
of
was
work.
all your idea. So anyway, so the other thing is we've been doing these history moments and we stopped during COVID. So this will be the first of
Oh,
more to come, maybe, if I can get some volunteers.
well,
to
the
do it.
great. Thank you. Two little
Oh, and I did
follow-ups.
want to welcome Jason as well. And he has a copy of my book, so he's doing his homework, reading
Ah,
about the history of the town. So
Perfect. Thank you for doing that. Yeah. Just two quick follow-ups. The 100-year anniversary for the fire, is that exhibit going to be at the museum? Or, okay,
we've had the wine exhibit up since before COVID, unfortunately.
yeah.
It takes us a long time to do anything, but yeah, so in July will be the official 100th anniversary of the Woodside Fire Protection District. So we're close, and we're getting some professional help, and we're not setting a date yet because we're not sure, but and we've talked to a bunch of firefighters. They told us they're going to bring all their rigs out, and it'll be a big deal. So you'll all get invitations, and I hope it'll be a fun exhibit. We've got a lot of stuff going on. So,
Thank you.
all right, thank you.
Good building of community. One other question, since I drive by it like 5 times a day. The corner of Trip and Summit for Temperance Hall, which corner was Temperance Hall on? Do you know? Just trying to think of which neighbor I would like to tell is the original site.
South. Alicia says south. I can get back to you on that. I don't. You think it's the south?
The one that a little bit more up on a hill, or the flatter one?
It was flatter.
The-
Is it, it's probably, maybe the one where that.
We'll get back
Spanish
to-
house is
Gilbert.
built.
Yeah, exactly.
The new
Where
house?
the Gilbert, the Gilbert.
Okay.
sisters were.
When we moved it the
Wow.
third time, I said we should just put wheels on this building. So if we have to move it again.
Okay. Wow, that's historic. That's great.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate all the building of community and everything you guys do. Thank you very much. Any other questions for the History Committee or item 6? With that, Councilmember Brown, would you like to make a motion or acceptance of number 6?
Move that we accept number 6.
Second.
Councilmember Alberish,
Yes.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Gold, Mayor Domkowski.
Yes, thank you. Moving right along, public hearing item A, a report on vacancies, recruitment and retention efforts. And I believe we're giving this to you, Melissa. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Thank you, Mayor Domkowski. In the packet this evening is a report outlining the vacancies and retention recruitment efforts the town has taken in the last year. This is a new state law that came into effect January 1st, 2025, and this report will be presented to the town council each year before the budget is approved. This is an informational item only, but under the statute, we have to hold a public hearing. So that is what is before you tonight. As you see in the report, we don't have any current vacancies, and we have a small number of staff and low turnover.
Very good. Questions for Melissa?
I have a question. I don't know if it's Melissa or Jason.
Sure,
It's
whoever.
more of a comment than a question. It's, I would be interested to know how our staffing has changed and what has driven the change pre-COVID to where we are today. That obviously that's not part of this, it's not to be this evening, but
Sure.
take a look at that. Same thing's gonna come up on our budget. Where were we pre-COVID and where are we today? and what's driven the changes that we've undertaken.
Yes, Councilmember Brown, we can gather that information and bring it back appropriately on the 24th when we bring a budget for adoption. And we can go over the structure of what things look like prior to COVID and where they currently stand.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, any comments from the public? Hearing and seeing none, we will close public comment and any deliberation. It's pretty straightforward, other than one really lucky intern that ought to frame this report, as far as I'm concerned, and put it on his wall. Very efficient post staffing, so thank you. I think with that, we'll just take the vote to accept.
Councilmember Arborish,
Yes.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes,
Councilmember Gold,
Yes.
Mayor Domkowski.
Yes, and Jean, do we need to do anything to vote on continuation, or is it just continued?
No, I think it's fine. It's shown in the agenda, so the public's aware it's been continued. Thank you.
Okay, then we are to the volunteer committee updates. Back to you, Melissa.
All right, just a few updates. The Arts and Culture Committee's next First Friday is on June 6th from 7 to 8 p.m. And it will be a ukulele sing-along with the Fleet Street Band. Will be in here, and they have some ukuleles if you want to play along. The Recreation Committee, there's a sound immersion workshop this Friday, May 30th from 7 to 8 p.m., and there are still spots available for that. The Spirit of Woodside Photography Contest that I mentioned at the last meeting is now open for youth ages 5 to 18, and flyers will be mailed out later this week to all residents. The web page is live under the community tab if you want to start sharing that with some of the youth in our community. And the Environment and Open Space Committee is accepting applications for the Backyard Habitat Award. Again, more information can be found on the website, or residents can stop into town hall to pick up an application.
Any questions for Melissa? Hearing none, I think we will just move on to council communications. Anything that anyone would like to share? Yes, Councilmember
say
Brown.
we had a very successful Firewise workshop last week. And I'm working on the next workshop, which will be related to senior life change. What are the elements that have to go into seniors making changes in their lifestyle and in the family situation, et cetera? How do you make those decisions, and what are some of your choices around the neighborhood? And I'm working with the town of Atherton, Portola Valley, and Woodside on this for September, or for the end of September.
That's great. And we're going to find out what our contributions are, if you will, or what our commitments are to
Yes.
making this happen. Right?
You'll be a featured speaker.
Can't wait. I'm going to need some more airtime after tonight. Any other questions or comments? I did notice that the volunteer committee did put out a date, just to mark your calendars, for October 17th for the volunteer reception. And that's it. This is going to be the single best meeting of your entire career at Woodside. Guaranteed. It's, I think it is going to be a record. 30 minutes in, we'll call it for 7:30. Meeting adjourned.
I believe that is the record.